In September of 1940, Japan established the tripartite pact with Germany and Italy, forming the Axis powers, known as the Rome-Berlin-Tokyo Axis. This alliance promised mutual and total aid for a 10-year period. The decision of Japan to attack the United States remains a contentious topic. Despite forecasts of disaster in a war against the United States, Japan executed a plan to bomb the U.S. naval base in Hawaii, thus drawing the United States into the conflict on the side of the Allies. In a bid to gain an edge in the war, Japan explored the possibility of using insects as biological weapons. These experiments sound like they're straight out of a science fiction movie. Japan began to suffer significant losses in battles by air, land, and sea due to the unfavorable difference between its industrial potential and that of the United States. The mortality rate among prisoners of war from Asian countries held by Japan was 27.1%. Restrictions on the treatment of Chinese prisoners were lifted, resulting in high mortality. The Imperial Japanese Army recruited women, mainly Chinese and Korean, promising them work and welfare, only to later turn them into sexual slaves. This practice reached unimaginable levels during World War II. Ignoring the Potsdam Declaration, the Japanese Empire surrendered following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the declaration of war by the Soviet Union. The onset of World War II gave Japan a new opportunity to expand throughout Southeast Asia. Having reached several diplomatic agreements, the Japanese economy struggled to keep up with the demands of the war with China. The United States imposed an oil embargo on Japan, which led to conflict. Japan's strategic objectives were to paralyze the U.S. fleet in the Pacific, capture oil fields in the Dutch East Indies, and expand the boundaries of the Japanese Empire to create a formidable defensive perimeter. In summary, the Japanese Empire during World War II was a time of strategic alliances, biological experiments, industrial challenges, and horrifying treatment of prisoners and women. The war ended with the surrender of Japan following 2 atomic bombings and a declaration of war by the Soviet Union. This period remains a significant chapter in world history, offering lessons on the consequences of aggression, the horrors of war, and the importance of diplomacy.